first creative reset in 9 years. Seasonal reset. I've always loved this time of year, but for a long time, I never really stopped to ask why. It was always just a feeling. The smell in the air, the way the sunlight hits everything, just a little different in winter, even in Florida. The quiet that settles in when the world feels like it's holding its breath. Everything slows down. Nature gives us this season as a soft reminder to rest. The sun sets earlier, whispering, "Shh, you've done enough." And yet, this is the time of year we're told to push the hardest. New goals, new systems, new habits, new hustle. But what if that pressure was never natural to begin with? What if winter was never meant for blooming? What if this season was organically intended for settling in? Why this reset feels different. Every winter I feel the urge to reset creatively, not because some calendar tells me to, but because my body, my creativity, and my nervous system ask for it. And this year, that reset feels deeper than ever before, because for the first time in 9 years, I'm stepping into a season where I'm allowing my own projects to matter again. But here's the big shift I really want to talk about today. I'm no longer resetting because it's, quote, the start of the year. I'm resetting because winter asks us to listen, not launch, and that distinction has changed everything about how I create. The system we were never meant to follow. Here's something that I've been sitting with more deeply lately. We were never meant to function on a rigid 12-month calendar. The January 1st, quote, new year structure we all live under is a man-made, productivity-driven system designed for burnout and output, not intuition. It was designed for deadlines, for economics, for control, not for creativity or rest or for human rhythms, not for nature. Winter is not a time for beginning. It's a time to hibernate. And when we force ourselves to bloom in the dead of winter, we don't grow stronger, we burn out. The 13-month truth. Historically, many cultures followed a 13-month calendar aligned with the moon and the seasons. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Take the months we still use to today. December comes from the Latin word decem, meaning 10. In Greek, deca, also meaning 10. But December is our 12th month. Interesting, right? Now, math is definitely not my specialty, but something just doesn't add up. Now consider looking at April. April comes from the Latin word aperire, meaning to open. The month when the earth opens, when buds break through soil, when nature begins to blossom again. That makes far more sense to our internal clock. It rings true to me so deeply. As a part of nature, as a human, as a woman, we all have cycles, and yet we are clearly being forced into an unnatural cycle on such a massive level. And it's no coincidence that April 1st, what we all call April Fool's Day, was once celebrated as the true New Year's Day. Almost like the system has decided We were foolish for remembering our own internal seasonal wisdom. Why I celebrate the new year in April. In my home, April 1st is my new year, not January 1st, not February hustle season, April. And many of my close friends and family celebrate this way now too. April is when my ideas that have been hibernating start to wake up, when creativity starts to feel curious again and well rested, when energy rises naturally without force. April is the time for all the actions you've kept softly low-key as you sip your hot cocoa, comes to the surface and blooms with full vibrancy. Winter, on the other hand, is for intentional integration. Which brings me back to why I am sharing this reset with you now. Honoring winter instead of fighting it. Instead of pushing myself into artificial motivation, I now use this time to settle in, to look back gently, to clean, not create, to reflect, not rush. This is when I ask myself a few key questions. What drained me this past year? What nourished me? What am I carrying that I don't need anymore? This is why my creativity reset doesn't look loud. It looks quiet, intentional, behind the scenes, slow. And that's not failure, it's alignment. Motherhood, unsteadiness, and space. Oh baby, mommy has been so overwhelmed and also so excited. I have caught myself saying this out loud a few times while rocking my son to sleep. Let me tell you why. While I was pregnant, one of my longest standing clients, 8 years of steady work, lost funding. At the time, it was terrifying, but winter has a way of revealing truth. That lost created space. Space to be present, space to breathe, space to finally focus on ideas that have been quietly waiting for almost a decade. During fall, I finished a massive project, an 8-book collection, a project that spanned pregnancy and postpartum. And when it ended, so did an era. This winter marks the first time since 2017 that I get to dream freely again. Ritual number 1, the winter creative debrief. My first ritual isn't about asking, what am I starting? It's about asking, what am I releasing? I do a gentle creative debriefing each year. What drained me? What lit me up? What am I finished with? What deserves rest? Winter is for closing loops, not opening new ones. Ritual number 2, clearing the space. I reset my workspace the same way nature resets itself, slowly, intentionally, without urgency. Old sketchbooks get archived, supplies return back to their little home, surfaces get cleared, windows opened to allow fresh air to blow through. This isn't about productivity, it's about making space for what comes next. Even if you don't fully know what that is yet. Ritual number 3, gentle visioning. I don't set hard goals in winter. I create a vision list, soft, exploratory, and pressure-free, because it allows me to feel fun, like a child, not goal-setting and stuffy. The vision this year is full of lifestyle comics that I want to play with, paintings that I've been longing to explore, stories that pop into my mind relentlessly, all written down, all intentional, all with purpose, organized within a schedule that fits my own rhythm. Ritual number 4, nervous system before art. Creativity doesn't flow through force. It flows through safety, security, and trust. So my winter rituals include breath work, stretching, soft music, sunlight as often as possible. As a mother, an artist, a human, I no longer bypass my nervous system to be, quote, productive. Presence is the real reset. My word for this season, and honestly, the year ahead, is presence. Presence in motherhood, presence in my creativity, presence in my business, presence in rest. Because when April comes, I want to bloom naturally, not from exhaustion. I want to bloom with joyful vibrance. Mini coaching session. If you're feeling behind right now, you're not. If you feel unmotivated, you're not broken. You may just be honoring winter in a world that forgot how. Your creativity isn't lost, it's resting. And when the time is right, you will open up and bloom once again. Remember, you are a flower, and when spring comes, you just need to give yourself plenty of water, sunshine, and fresh air. Soft closing. If this conversation felt comforting, I hope you know that was intentional. My hope with this video was to remind you that nothing is wrong with you. If you're feeling slower, quieter, or more inward right now, if this video helped you feel a little less pressure, or gave you a little more permission to rest, or even just a little more truth in your own rhythm, then I'm really glad you're here. If this resonated, you will love my free nostalgic childhood healing guide. It's linked below. It's my little gift to you, because your creativity isn't lost. It's just waiting for you to remember it. As we move closer to April, I'll be sharing more about how I gently prepare for spring creatively without forcing myself to bloom too early. Until next time, remember, your inner child is cheering you on, and so am I. Creatively kind, Kayleigh Castle.